Social justice warrior and a social media warrior. I don't like your favorite clothes, so I'll destroy you. Well, let's go out and find what you waiting for. Social justice warrior and a social media warrior. I don't like your favorite clothes, so I'll destroy you. Well, let's go out and find what you waiting for.
You're a girl. I'm a girl. Come on with me and we fucking rule the world. Come on, girl power. Every hour. I had to get that out. Alright. Here's my beef with feminism, besides everything. Um, the women that think they have it really rough in North America obviously know how bad it is in the rest of the world, and they act like, well, men are still getting paid more. I can't even begin to start with all the research that's been done to dismantle the gender pay cap, uh, pay, gender pay gap debacle. Men, on average, take more stressful jobs, more dangerous, aka being a cop, construction workers. If you look around in Toronto, the most dangerous jobs, period, are done by men. And a lot of those jobs pay pretty good. A lot of guys that work for the city or work building these massive buildings. Some of these buildings are 80 stories high. You gotta have guys that clean the freaking windows on these buildings. And when I say guys, it's always, I never see girls. There might be one or 10 out of hundreds of guys that have to clean all the windows in this ever-growing building city. So we got cops, a lot of EMS. There's a lot of women in EMS, but on average, so do you see a lot of women going out doing oil sands, which is maybe a moot point because it's a dying industry now. They just don't. They notoriously haven't done factory jobs the way men have done. Even though North America, that's one thing we kicked butt at during and after World War II. We had a lot of women in factories. So feminism, I think it's convoluted. We don't really need feminists to do the thing now to protect what you still have, sure, but I mean, it's like the level of work you still want to put in. So be proud to be a woman. Some of the best women I know, they're so not even just feminine, they're just proud to be women, and they're never like, I would never hear them go, oh, this feminist thing, or I'm so proud that, you know, uh, I'm proud to be part of this movement. It's never like that, and I think misandry is the new misogyny, and I believe that a lot of women, especially in this city, you don't realize it, because it's, you have to take a step back. You think that, well, example, you have women's only gyms. If you get pregnant and you want to have an abortion, you can do that, like that. If we say no, hey, I care about you, I want you to have this kid, it doesn't matter what we say, because it's your body. Well, as they say, it takes two to tango. Well, apparently it doesn't, or it's just something you say. That, and it's, that statement on its own is sexist, I guess. If you want to keep the baby and we don't want anything to do with it, the courts will make us pay. The logic there is really simple. And when I date women, I gotta say, I probably spend ratio wise, and I'm not saying I'm dropping like a ball, or I spend within my limit, but I want to say for every 10 dates, I'm spending money 7 times. And if I see a girl, I've had a few smaller micro relationships. The last one I had, I guess I flew too close to the sun. Woman was like 10 or 11 years younger than me, which is not a bad situation, but I gotta say, I think it was a pay to play situation. Uh, and as soon as I was lean, my pockets got a little bit leaner, and all of a sudden things fizzled out. Just saying. And a lot of men say this too, especially in the city. It's kind of like Behind closed doors, it's like the prettier they are, the less they'll pay. Oh, feminists. I heard this one. This was a good one. I wish I came up with it. Oh, I bet she's a feminist until the check comes. Sounds like you know, an Italian or Portuguese guy from my neck of the woods, which, I'm kind of that too. But if that's the worst thing you have to put up with, then I think you're doing just fine. I'm really sorry. I cannot really hear women cry in this country anymore. There's domestic abuse is down. Uh, even verbal abuse, because that can get turned into so many things. Why not celebrate the things that you have? You have a country. You have, uh, you know, police officials that generally look after you. And if anything ever happens, when there are arguments, a lot of times it can be turned around in the favor of the woman, and even if the man didn't hit a woman. So, yeah, I think you've lost the plot on this, feminists in North America. But good on you. Women's only gym. I've actually experienced going to, there was this club down Church Street a few years back, and it looked just cool. It's in this, I don't know if you know Church Street in Toronto, there's these cool houses that are like mansions that people would just put a couple restaurants in. Like 2 restaurants, that's how big they are. And I didn't care that it was a lesbian bar. I saw, hey, there was like some cool music coming out and had this cool vibe up front. And I was there like a month ago, no big deal. Oh, so I'll go back, like, big deal in the sense that, like, anybody come in. And then I suffered from discrimination. I went there and they said, sorry, you're only allowed in here if you have 2 women. Can you imagine if that happens now? A woman going into a gay bar, first off, they're going to carry the woman on their shoulders, and they should. But I was just like, did I pout? No. Twitter was around then, I guess, but, and then we have, like, this nut job going back to, 2011 in Vancouver. Again, when I say CWYL, consistent with your logic, she sues a comic for insulting her for being a lesbian, let alone at a comedy club. And she got $22,000 because he called her a dyke and a cunt and a few other things. I mean, what? What? You can't take some name calling, especially at a comedy club? Jeez, man, everyone, and she threw 2 glasses of water in his face, and she got money. As a man with a set of huevos, that's infuriating. That's infuriating. When I heard that, I thought it was made up. I really did. Feminism, be proud to be woman. Cut the nonsense. You got it great in this country. You can nail me to the cross any way you want on that one. I will not retract my statements. Still open doors for old ladies. Pay for most of the dating. I don't know what else to say. Enjoy being in the West. Look what's happening in the Middle East. Let's not even get into Europe with the refugees and some of the stuff that's been going on with women getting fondled on the streets, rapes. That's a show for another day. Guys, please return for part 3, because if you don't, well, I'm really going to have to reflect on my course in life. See you in a bit.
Social justice,